Welcome YouTubers, this is Yvonne aka Yoli Lover EL. Today I'm coming to you with my first anime studio tutorial showing you how I set up my characters. The character I'm doing today is Talbot. He's a human from the story ElfQuest. Okay, starting off I'm going to make a bone layer and going to name that Talbot Front and move layer 1 into that and make a group layer and name that Front. That will be the front facing head and move layer 1 into that and name it Base. That's the head base. Then selecting the curve tool, I'm going to make it the approximate shape of his head. Then I'm going to tweak the top point and the bottom point. Then going up to split, draw, split curves at the number 2. That gives me even points. I'm going to add a couple more points. Then I'm going to tweak those points until they are close resembling the drawing. Then selecting the curve tool again, sharpen the outer points. Gonna create my eye shape, adding a few extra points just to get that eye just right. Then adding a line above the eye. Once I have that the way I want it, I'll select all those points, copy, paste, flip horizontal, hold down the shift key and move it directly over. Oval tool again, sharpen those outer points, add a few more points to the top and bottom, then make a line for the bottom lip and add points to that. Adjusting those points till I get it the way I want it. Okay, then selecting his skin color, I'm going to select just the bottom points and color them, and then the top points, changing it to a size 2. Taper the end points to a size 0.5. Holding down shift, hit the mouth and eye openings, then space bar enter. Select the points of the bottom lip and turn them back down to a 0.5. Then selecting the points above the eye and the bottom lip, changing the width to a size 1, hit space and then enter. Then you're going to sharpen those points at both the eye and at the bottom lip, those outer points. Now I'm going to tweak the eye width until I get it to how I like it. So just give me a second here. Okay, with that done, we're going to hide the 2 lines at the top and taper off the temple lines. Then start a new layer. Call that EB in teeth. That's for eyeballs and teeth. That goes under the base layer. I'm holding down shift. I'm going to make an oval, and then I'm going to copy and paste that oval 4 times. One for the eyeball, one for the iris, one for the pupil, and one for the highlight. Then I'm going to select each one of those ovals and color them in white, brown, black, and another white for the highlight. No stroke on either of those. Then selecting that entire eye, copy, paste, holding down shift, I'll move that over, and I have 2 eyes. Now for the teeth, I'm going to create 2 ovals, one for the bottom, one for the top. This is a simple character. He's not going to talk or anything, so his teeth are simple ovals. I'm going to turn that white with a gray outline, 0.5. I'm going to start a new layer. This layer is called tongues /IS for inside. Select the oval tool with a dark purple and then light pink with a dark pink outline for the tongue. Adding a few extra points with the split curve. I'm going to taper that inside line down to a 0.0. Adjust those points until I have them the way I want them. And then a Control R to preview. That looks fine. Okay, new layer, nose. This goes above base. Selecting the rectangle. Going to adjust the point so that it more accurately depicts the drawing. Select create shape, space, and enter. Going to hide these points and then taper down the points of the nose and do some tweaking. Now to create a shape for the shadow under the nose, I'm going to choose black and lower the opacity and give the soft edge, no outline. Lower that to the back. Control R to preview. Okay, looking good so far. Now add in a new layer. I'm going to name this layer Brows. That goes above the nose. Okay, and select rectangle to make the eyebrow. Going to add in points to make it look more like the picture. So let me just adjust these points. Using the pencil tool at size 1, going to add a line to the front of his brow for that crease. Adjust those points and then remove the color. Then starting at the front of his brow to the back of his brow, going to add points. This will give thickness to his upper brow. Color from the nose and add that into his brow. Space, enter. Then going to make his eyebrow black. So select all those points, space, enter. Hide most of the points of his brow and then thin these out to make the crease right above his eye. Connect the frown mark to the rest of his brow. Color it the same color as the area above his eyebrow. Hide the points at the very top and bottom. Then copy, paste, flip horizontal, holding down shift, move those brows over to the other side. Control R to preview. Okay, I'll select the oval to make his cheek and adjust those points and add a couple of more. Okay, then select shape and space and enter. That's the same color as his skin with a darker outline. Adjust the points on there. Copy, paste, and move it, holding down shift, move it to the other side. New layer, I'm going to call this layer hair. Okay, starting with the oval tool, I'm going to tweak some points so I get the front part of his hair and the sideburns down. I have all those points the way I want them. Select a darker brown for his hair with a black outline, size 2. Taper off the points of all of those lines for his hair. And hide the lines on the side and taper the ones at his sideburns. I'm going to make a new layer. That layer will be ear left. Using the pencil tool, I'm going to draw the lines inside his ear. Then adjust the width. Then remove the color. Excuse me. And select the whole ear. Change the color of the skin. Then the inner ear lines, I'm going to make those the same color as the lips. Move that to behind the base. Duplicate that layer and change to ear right. Copy all those, select all those points, hold down shift and move it over to the other side of the head. Okay, and that completes the head. So we're going to close the group layer front and make a new layer. Call this layer neck and chest. I'm going to move this up a bit so that I can see his neck and chest better. Spread it out to encompass his chest. Add extra points to make the neckline and then his shoulders. Excuse me. Then his chest muscles. Sharpen those points. Okay. Then make his collarbone. Then select all and copy and flip horizontal and paste. Okay, then his nipples. And go right below the chest plate with auto weld on to connect and make a line, shadow that will be under his chest. Make that a slightly darker color than his skin tone. Make his nipples the same shade. Okay, delete the points around the nipples. Now select all the points in the chest, the collarbone, and the throat line. Space and enter. Taper off the end point. Select the chest and make it the skin color. Lower it to the back. Then hit space and enter. Start a new layer. Name this layer abs. This is going to go below the neck chest layer. Selecting rectangle, I make it the width of the chest and then narrow the bottom down to his hips. With script, draw, select split curves. I'm going to add more points. Then I'm going to adjust those points until they match the drawing. Now I'm going to adjust the points on his right side for his rib cage. And then do the same thing on his left. Then add in the lines for the rest of his ab area. Okay, I do the navel with the pencil tool, then adjust the points, and then adjust the width. Then remove the color. Select the rib cage, color them the same darker tint that's under the chest plate. Selecting all of the ab area, deselect the lines, hit space, then lower it to the back, and hit enter. Okay, highlight all the lines in the abs. Change the line width down to a 1. Using the same color as the ribs, hit enter. Then sharpen all the end points. Then hide all of your scrote lines on the ribs. Selecting the points on the outside ribs, I'm going to turn those lines black. Okay, new layer, arm left. Selecting the rectangle tool, using the rectangle as my base. I add more points and then adjust it to the arm in the picture. All the points and then hit in space, enter. Oops, wrong color. Undo. Select the right skin color, hit space and enter. Now I'm going to use an oval to do my lower arm, adding extra points and adjusting them until they fit the picture. Selecting all the points, hit space and enter. Okay, that's the left arm. I'm going to duplicate that layer and name that left arm upper. Then duplicate that layer again and name it arm right lower. Then selecting all those points, flip horizontal and move that arm over to the right side of the body. Then duplicate that layer and name the layer right arm upper. A new layer and name this layer loincloth. Selecting the oval tool, I'm going to make the waistband, adding points to adjust them to the picture. With auto well turned on, I'm going to use create points and make the bottom part of his loincloth and the lines in it. Selecting the points to the bottom half of the loincloth, hit space and enter. Then selecting the crease lines in the loincloth, hit space and enter. Then taper off the points of those and thin out the lines just a little bit. Then selecting the points to the waistband, do the same thing. Space and enter. Then select the lines and space and enter. Okay, and then I'm going to tweak those points, thin out the lines inside the roll of his waistband. Okay, new layer. Name that layer leg left. Let's get started on the legs. Okay, let me readjust the picture so that the legs are in the window. Selecting the oval tool, I'm going to make my upper leg. Just got to add in a few extra points. Then selecting the oval again, I'm going to make the lower part of the leg. Just adding in a few points to tweak it. Then coloring in the lower leg and then the upper leg. I'm going to do the same thing as I did with the arms. I'm going to duplicate this layer and name it left leg left upper. Then duplicate the layer again. Select all those points, flip them horizontal, and move them over to make them the right leg. Then rename that layer right leg lower and duplicate that layer and name it leg right upper. Okay, I gotta adjust the points in the right knee, hide some lines, and then taper these lines. Then I gotta adjust the taper so that it looks a little better. Then do the same for the left leg. Okay, then select the points of the kneecap. And I'm going to change those to the line color, that like I did for the abs and the neck and the chest. Okay, new layer, foot, left. Select the rectangle, adjust it to the ankle, the back of the heel, and the first point on the baby toe. Okay, and just add extra points until I have my foot. those points, create a shape and hit space and enter. Then select the lines for the toes and the little arch in the foot. Hit space and enter and taper off the ends of those lines and readjust the width just a little. Add points to the ankle and curve that off. Then lower the foot to under the left leg lower and adjust the points for where you can see the lines. I'm going to thin out the width rather than hide the points. And I'm going to duplicate that layer and call it foot right. Then select all the points, flip horizontal, and move them over under leg right lower. Then I'm going to do the same thing to the lower leg, right leg as I did to the left leg. Okay, and the next layer would have been the back hair, but I had to answer the phone and I paused it. And when I came back and did the hair, I forgot to unpause it, so it's not on this video. But on the next video, you will see him with the hair at the back when I do the video for boning out this character. So until the next video, thank you for watching. And if you enjoyed this tutorial, please press the like button and subscribe. And feel free to pass my videos along to your friends or anyone else interested in how to put a character together in Anime Studio. So this is Yvonne. Until next time, goodbye.